6:30 is my phone.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The meeting is being recorded by Carly Brown, our secretary. Any public comment?
I'm recording also. Take your time.
No sign in? No public comment? That's all right. Okay, before you... Okay, go ahead. Mention your name.
Cliff Neal, 119 Arthur Street. I'm here to comment on the article in the Leader Times concerning police protection being contracted out of West Battanian. I believe it was December's meeting, 2015, that I directly questioned the then Council President, Bob Vineski, that we will or will not be using the West Battanian Police Department this year. And he said we were going to retain the West Battanian Police Department. And that was at the December 2015 meeting. Do you recall that?
No.
Okay, well, I have it on audio tape, and I'm sure Mike has it on videotape also, because it was at the end of the meeting. We had not received a report from the police committee concerning a contract from Battanian Borough at that time. That's why I asked that question, because it was still in limbo. And that's why I asked you that question at the public meeting. All right. And the mayor's comments in the newspaper, I agree with that. That paychecks are being held over our borough police officers' heads year in and year out, and the decision needs to be made. Well, when I asked then Council President Vineski if we were going to retain the police department in West Battanian Borough, he said yes. I assumed that was a decision. Okay, so when's a decision not a decision?
Well, let me correct you. That, I can't make that decision as president. That decision would have to be voted on by the full council.
Okay. So are you recanting that comment?
No, I'm not recanting it, but I can't make that. I might have said yes, is the way it is now.
All right, that's fine.
We're still going with our own police force.
Okay, now, and the reason I believe no decision was made with the Battanian Police Department and why it was not brought to the attention of the West Battanian Council at that time was that Battanian Council wanted us to commit to a contract with them before a contract was drawn up. All right, I personally will not sign a contract without first knowing the terms of the contract. If anybody else here would do that, be my guest. But how can West Battanian commit to a contract without seeing the terms of that contract? And that's why the police committee, I read it in the Leader Times 3 days after our meeting.
I never remember Catania saying that they wanted us to commit.
It was in the Leader Times, I have the article.
Well, I don't remember. I mean, I know they were up here that night and talked to us.
Okay, well, yeah, but this was, that was what, September, October they were here. But I mean, if the police committee's gonna go out and get facts, let's bring them back to council, let's get them on the table, let's be transparent, let's not do anything behind anybody's back. Okay, I don't wanna find out that we were
We're not doing anything.
Okay, but you said that.
That's why I brought it up at the last meeting, because nothing has been done, there's no decision about it,
Okay, but,
even on the old council.
but that, to me, that was, when we don't get a decision from Catania to vote on, to me, that is a decision. No one's brought anything to the table to decide upon, so we're gonna retain status quo and stay with West Battanian Police Department. I mean, what other options do we have?
None right now. That's why we're having policemen. Let me say something too. I remember before I was elected to council, and Carol, I think you were there. You might be able to remember this. It was brought up at the meeting about contracting with Catania Police. And actually, I think it was back when the referendum was on the ballot. And you sat there and you said, if I hear one more thing about the police, it's going to be tabled and it's going to be done.
I don't remember that.
Now,
I do.
I remember.
And that's
So-
the president.
Don't call pot
I'll
calling
just use
kettle
your line,
black.
that's all.
I mean, you know,
Okay.
and if you wanna get into it,
No, I want,
another thing you said was, well, if we contract with Katanning Police, West Katanning will lose their identity, which made me laugh. We're not gonna change the name of West Katanning Borough to Katanning Borough, it's still gonna be West Katanning Borough,
okay.
regardless of who we
All right, I
contract.
only have a couple more minutes.
Come on, just,
I've got 2 more minutes. And what I want to make sure that everybody knows, the petition that was passed around as well as the ballot question said 24/7 coverage for West Katanning, all right? It's patrols within a 24-hour period. There will not be a police officer in West Katanning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I think the,
Well, there isn't now.
well, all right, well, that's not what the petition said. The petition said 24/7, the ballot question said 24/7. How many people voted on that or signed that petition and ballot thinking there was gonna be 24/7?
Well, you know, if you wanna go that route, here's an easy way to do it. Let's just put another referendum on the ballot, and this time it'll be a binding referendum. If it passes, then we have to do it. If
Okay,
it
well, like I
don't,
said,
then we
just be
don't.
upfront with people. Don't say 24/7 when it's not 24/7.
24/7 coverage.
yeah,
That's misleading.
Well,
no,
what that says to me, that if I pick up the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and I need the police, they're gonna be here.
All right, well, to me, that's a gray area. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Can I say something on that, Mr. President?
go ahead.
I sent an email last month to our police committee asking for a meeting. Bob Wisniewski read that letter out loud, and the newspaper picked up on it. That was not my intent to stir up trouble.
No, I agree with you.
I tried when you were on council too, to have a meeting with the police committee, and I never had one for 2 years.
I agree with you, Jim. All right?
But
That-
you're
that decision
saying
needs to
we're
be
trying to
made.
cover up something. I'm not trying to cover up
No, I
nothing.
know.
All I wanted to.
I didn't single you
decisions
out.
to be made, black and white, yes or no.
Yeah, right. Well, that's why I brought that up. You know, was, we didn't have a decision.
When you're
We not
accusing
after the
us,
police.
you're accusing us of keeping the public in the dark. You just said that.
Why wasn't there a police committee meeting at the end of 2015 to tell us what Katanning told us? Why,
All right, thanks
You were
enough
on
now.
council, why wasn't there one?
All right,
Okay, we can go on and on.
Let me add one thing. We were gonna have a police committee meeting this past month, and I didn't have it because Paula had family problems, and I didn't think that she would be available, and I didn't want to bother. So next Monday, 11, 5 o'clock, we're having a police committee meeting.
When is that?
Monday.
Monday at 5,
Is that a public meeting?
That's the meeting.
Get
This
the closing.
committee meeting.
Anything else from the public? Carol?
Carol Augustine. I just wanted to follow up something else on the police. When Katanning was up here, they said they wanted us to sign a contract, that we needed to sit down and hammer out the contract. It wasn't sign a blank contract. I just wanted to clarify.
I think I remember them saying that.
Hmm?
I do remember them stating that fact.
What, that they wanted us to
They
sign a
wanted
blank?
us to sign a contract.
I've never.
Yeah, they wanted us to sign a contract, but it wasn't gonna be a blank contract.
No, it was
The
not a
lawyers
blank
needed-
contract,
The lawyers needed to sit down and figure it out.
Yeah, we have it.
It wasn't sign a blank contract.
Yeah, but one time there was a committee here in the community that looked into the police.
Yes, we looked into that.
Yeah,
But no, it was not a blank contract, and they originally said they would do it for 6 months to see if it would work
Yes.
out, and not get rid of West Katanning police vehicles or anything like that. So if in 6 months we decided it wasn't gonna work, we could go back to the West Katanning Police Department. I just wanted to clarify that.
The only thing is, we're talking about a police car. We need one.
So we need to know
There's no
what
sense
to
of
do.
buying a police car if we're going to go with outsourcing. So
Absolutely.
a decision has to be made with this council. Where are we going?
I completely agree with that. I just wanted to clarify what was said.
leave the committee meeting.
I'm disappointed in the Leader Times for putting that article in the paper. Because that wasn't the intent.
I just did put.
Have all comments? move on. Gentlemen, ladies, before you have the minutes of March meeting, of March County, I need a motion to accept them.
Just one clarification. Carly, on that, page 2, probably the third paragraph down, or second paragraph, where I, looking into the repair of the roof that was damaged by the backhoe. That's wrong. We're looking into repairing the roof because it's a sieve from 40 years of doing nothing.
Okay,
Okay.
just general, like the rate.
Yeah. We do have damage to the side of the building, which I'll make a presentation and a little later in our committee reports. That has to do with years of
Where?
well, we're a little bit damaged from being hit by the backhoe and by the big garbage vent that was back there, and also by years of where the salt was kept, that leaked around the side of the building there and rusted out the bottom. But I'll comment on that. Comment after. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion on the minutes?
Motion approved.
I thought there was another woman that wanted to make a comment. She got her hand.
I need a second on Bob's motion first.
I'll second that.
All right, Mayor.
There was a woman back here.
Oh, okay, who?
Wait, all in favor of minutes?
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously.
No other public comment? Ma'am?
No? Okay, we're moving on. Mayor's report.
The police report, traffic, 29 citations, 7 warnings, non-traffic, 1 disorderly conduct, 1 bad check, criminal, 1 DUI, 1 possession of paraphernalia, 1 possession of narcotics, and 1 theft of property. This is the beginning of the road repair construction season, so drivers need to be aware and adjust their driving to make a safe atmosphere for all involved. And please make sure you have your homes, vehicles, and outbuildings secured, because nice weather brings out the burglars. If you see an activity going on, call 911. And the Butler Petroleum Corporation Open Trench Project has finally been completed after a much long of a delay. And I want to thank publicly Councilman Wisniewski and Councilman Bauer for their commitment in seeing this conclusion of this project. The safety of our residents and the general public has always been an extreme concern of this council. Respectfully, James Risky Mayor. That's it.
All right,
I just want to make a little comment. I understand it took a long time, but you also got to understand you're working with government. And, you know, they submitted, you know, it started out in January of 14. They submitted a plan to the DEP to repair that. DEP's engineer turned it down, and then they hired Senate Engineering to come in, and there was a lot of hoops to jump through. They had to do a couple different studies. One was make sure there was no endangered species there. That was through the federal government, and that took July or August of last year when they finally got the approval from the federal government on that. And then the plan was submitted to the DEP, and I'm not sure what month it was. It was towards the end of the year. They approved it and said that they would be starting to work on it the 1st of February this year. And it was my understanding the reason why it went into March was because contractor, one of his machines or something was broke down, or he had it at another job and he couldn't get it there. But all in all, it's corrected and it's fixed.
And I want to add something to Bob's talk there. If anybody wants to look at the construction paper, or pictures and so forth of what went on over there, they are up here. There's a daily profile of what went on to get this completed.
Thank you for taking pictures.
Bob and I both, Bob Meyer and I both took pictures and to make sure some of the things were going on in a proper way. But Bob will elaborate later on. Yeah? Okay, thank you. All right. Committee's report, we'll start with Public Works. Bob?
Question arose when I first came. We're given a number of things that were to be followed up that Mr. Morris previously took care of, and one happened to be the maintenance building. I got some figures from a contractor. I had a meeting with the Public Works Committee. What's the name of the committee? Public Works Committee? And to see what we can do about replacing the roof on the maintenance building, and then to paint it, and then to repair the sides, which I had mentioned earlier on the minutes. The building was built probably about 1976, so if we're talking about 40 years. The building really hasn't been touched too much in a way of repairs. Might have had a coat of paint, but certainly wasn't repaired. Eddie, you were here then, I don't know all that was done. It really makes no difference. It's been sitting there for 40 years without any type of updating. The roof leaks like a sieve, and all the paint in the world wasn't going to cover up the holes. Just talking to Eddie Morris, Mr. Morris, who worked for many years, the insulation underneath is wet also. But looking into putting a new roof on is going to be, I got a price for $8,500, which I felt was a fair price as to labor to remove the existing metal roofing. And they're going to save the better metal up there for the side of the building, which I commented earlier on the northwest side of the building, on both sides. Through the years of salt being laid back there for winter, has eaten through and has eaten holes into the side of the building. They're going to take the better metal, keep the sheets, then our Boro maintenance will cut the metal and replace it back in the corner. They'll supply and install new roof aprons along the eaves, install pre-finished 20-gauge 40-year warranty metal roofing, supply and install new matching ridge vent, reinstall the rake trims salvaged from the existing roof, clean up and haul away any job related debris. We will be responsible for the building permits, the insulation under the metal roofing, which I'm not going to replace right away, but I think it's food for fodder for the following year. If we can agree to have Pride Contracting out of Parker do this work, I did then go get a bid from a cost from Schaefer Painting to paint the building. He'll wash the building, spot prime it where needed, and then put on the coat of primer. He's going to paint it the same color as the Boer building, this building here. He's going to put on a coat of primer, the Pro Seal, and then he's going to top it with shear acrylic. This is the same paint he used on the windscreen buildings, which he painted 20 years ago. They still look as good as they did then. He's also put the shear acrylic on the, if you want to take a look at it, the Belmont building, the ice arena. You'll be able to see it from the pool. And looking across, he did that side. It's a very nice job, which he'll do for a total of
2,800 or less. 28 is gonna be the high end. The paint is around $1,000 and about 1,700 to 1,900 labor. He's unsure right at the moment. I think somewhere I put a grand total on that. It's gonna be about a total of about $3,000 if we're interested.
For paint.
For the roof replacement and
yeah.
paint.
Yeah,
Okay,
That's my report.
thank you.
all right. At this time, would you like to make a motion?
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
Did you get any estimate with anybody else? No, I didn't. I based this on some prior work we had done.
Well, for myself, I'd just like to have at least one more, just to see what the difference is.
You're welcome to go get it and report back.
You want to push it to be advertised?
No, it's under the,
Yeah, I just wondered if it was under.
yeah, you're welcome to go get it, and just bring it back, we can compare.
Well, I was hoping you could do it.
I know,
I
I didn't know
I don't,
that's my
I don't have the time, I work all day. I mean,
You know, I tell you, in a new arena, I'm not working all day, but I'm doing a lot of work.
But Bob, I think you're the head of the committee, that's more or less your responsibility.
Well, I did, there's my responsibility, I did.
To be fair to taxpayers, they should have more than one estimate.
If you want to wait till next month, I'll make the same presentation.
All right, we'll table it till next month.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
Mhm.
Building committee, Bernie?
Okay, I spoke to Mr. Myers, Seth Myers, that's going to do the repairs in the building. I think when we spoke last, you said Rick did a walkthrough with Mr. Myers, correct? Did you tell me that, did you tell me that, Rick?
No.
I thought Rick and...
Rick and I walked through.
Okay, all right, because I made Seth Myers aware of the other issues. He was only aware of a couple of issues that he was told about, but I went through the whole list with him. He is ordering the pieces and parts to repair what needs to repair, so it'll be done here soon. So, a response to that?
Okay, the only things I've seen repaired partially is the doors.
Okay, he ordered parts for whatever
He
reason.
put weather stripping on the doors.
When was that done?
Oh, it's sometime in the last month.
I just talked to him on Friday about it.
Well,
so-
you look at the front door, you can see the weather stripping
Okay,
on there. But it's on there, it's gonna have to be redone
okay.
because it doesn't seal.
Well, we can talk about it. You can show me what you need.
Yeah.
You gave me a list. I went over that list with him. Let's see
Or if anything else, we can get our own employees to go ahead and move the weather seal back into where it should be.
Okay. And was the floor been done? I mean,
The floor's been done.
okay, all right. That's all I really have in the building. I mean, other than that, so.
Okay.
Can I say
Go.
something? Can I just go back on to what Bobby Bowers was talking about? I actually had asked around and I didn't actually check any prices, but just with talking through different people who know about painting and repairing the roof and replacing it, this is actually a very good deal. I hate to pass this up and the painting, and they do great work. So am I able to make a motion?
Well,
I mean, you're wanting to table it, but I'd like to make a motion that we go forward with this, because I do feel that this is reasonable.
it may
amount.
be, but I'd just like to see another bid, just to see, if another one comes in and it's higher, fine, we'll go with that.
let's get another bid in. I know Schaefer's do very good work. That's,
I mean, I
That
just know
price
the
is-
quality of their
that-
work
yes.
is good, and
that part of it
it's
is
not that
very
expensive,
reasonable
and
because I've had
everything's
them,
reasonable.
I've had them do the fire hall twice.
I mean, a roof to have it done for $8,500 and how big it is.
But when I need some work done on a police car, I normally get at least 3 bids for council to pick the fairest bid. Now, this is taxpayers' money. We can't just go on, I know this guy, we'll go with him.
I don't know them, but I'm just going by,
It's a good practice,
This is a
we
good
should get
price.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get another bid or so.
2 or 3 bids.
We'll bring it back.
That just makes common sense.
I have one comment. Bobby, can they guarantee that and hold that price?
Didn't ask that question.
You know, with going to live with another bid for 30 days, just wondering if they would hold the
Take a
price.
chance, take a chance.
Is there a way that you could ask them, or?
Well, I can, but it's gonna be after tonight, so.
Right, yeah. I was just wondering,
Yeah.
because I guess we're thinking that maybe this, we just do it and go, but with this coming up now,
Well, that's fine, I'm not objecting to it. I don't-
But I just
Thank you,
wondered-
okay.
It'd be great if they'd hold the price for, at least a month, because it's really not paint season, at least from that standpoint, wise. Now, tearing, taking the roof off, you can maybe do it. But,
We will get a second price,
okay.
and I'll guarantee that. We can go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. All right, Shade Tree Committee, Nancy? Thank you. Finance Committee, Bob? Nothing. Personnel, Bernie?
Nothing other than Mr. Meckling, but has that been handled?
We'll take care of that.
Okay, all right.
Police Committee, Ms. Nesky?
Just what I said, we're having a meeting on Monday at 5 o'clock.
All right, at this time, we're gonna go into executive session for personnel.
Henry, you forgot one.
Oh, the unseen committee. Nikki?
April 12th at 7 o'clock, it's a Tuesday night here at the Borough Building for a crime watch committee, or crime watch meeting.
All right,
Thank you.
at this time, at
Thank you, Nikki.
6:55, we're going into executive session. Personnel.
12.
Okay, at 7:13, council meeting will resume. Executive session, we have unfinished business at the time. Proposed amendment ordinance 186, motion to be advertised.
I'll make a motion, we advertise.
I'll second.
Motion by Walt Fisniski, second by Eddie Morse, that we advertise ordinance 186. This is pertaining to parking, stop signs. What else? And it, there's a stop, here's what it is, the stop sign at Summit facing north on south direction to travel at the intersection of Stitt Road, or Stitt Lane. Stop sign on Stitt Lane facing south at the intersection of Summit. Parking.
Mine says west.
Park-
Mine says west.
Yeah, west on intersection,
Says south.
I'm sorry. Parking prohibited at all times, east side of North Avenue, within 25 feet of the intersection of Harrison Street. Parking prohibited in certain hours, section 18-6 is deleted in the entirety as it is no longer applicable anyway. Handicap parking, the residents will have to apply at the police department. The police department will make a judgment on the necessity of a handicapped application, handicapped parking place. They will be kept on file for 1 year and be reevaluated. All handicapped signs will follow the state and federal regulations. Must be shown, and any penalties and any violations will be taken care of.
On the application, it has to be approved by a resolution
Yes,
by the Board of Council.
that was the next sentence I was going to get to. Okay, at this time, there was a motion to advertise by Bob Wisniewski, seconded by Eddie. All in favor? Yeah, aye.
Well, I didn't hear enough ayes. I guess,
Come on.
is there a question?
Is there a question on the motion?
Jen, you pretty much put this together. Is that okay what you want? I think you're the one who's promoting it.
Well, long officer.
Mr. Hagan, are you okay with this? You're,
It basically covers the
Covers everything.
sections there, that there were areas there that were not applicable anymore because of the school parking, which we have.
Okay.
School
are you
parking.
satisfied with this?
Yes.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Everybody in favor of it, let's hear it, just sign.
Aye.
Okay. Appointment of 2 elected auditors. That- That's just what I want to say, we have no. All right. We had, I'm gonna go ahead and mention, we had nobody call, write, or anything else at this time. And what we are going to do, and council is permitted to do, is to go ahead and solicit for an outside auditor. We do have an outside auditor, which we had a year ago. And I'd like to have a motion to go ahead and retain her at the remainder of her cost of a contract.
I make that motion.
Well, this is motion to accept the resolution, which.
All right.
Read it, or?
Yeah, you read this.
Okay. An emergency resolution of the Borough of West Katanning, Armstrong County, appointing an independent auditor to make examination of all financial records of the borough for the 2015 fiscal year due to the inability of council to fill 2 vacancies in the office of elected auditor. Whereas Council of the Borough of West Katanning passed an ordinance dated December 19, 2011, in which council granted themselves the authority by resolution to appoint an independent auditor to audit the financial records of the borough. Whereas council adopted a resolution dated November 3, 2014, appointing Lori Griner, certified public accountant, to audit the 2014 financial records of the borough. Whereas through an inadvertent oversight of council, Ms. Griner was not reappointed to the position of independent auditor by resolution to audit the 2015 financial records of the borough within the time period required by the borough code. Whereas under normal circumstances, the 3 elected auditors would perform the 2015 audit, whereas 2 of the elected auditors submitted letters of resignation from the office of auditor dated March 2016. Whereas council advertised the 2 vacant auditor positions in a local newspaper of general circulation on March 23, 2016 and March 29, 2016, but received no response from the public regarding the vacancies. Whereas the 2015 audit must be filed with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development by April 1st, 2016. Whereas due to the exigent circumstances surrounding the submittal of the 2015 audit to the DCED, the Borough of West Katanning wishes to reappoint Lori Griner, certified public accountant, as independent auditor for a fee of $3,000 to audit the 2015 financial records of the Borough of West Katanning. And now therefore be it resolved and adopted by the Council of the Borough of West Katanning as follows. Section 1, the Council of the Borough of West Katanning, due to the exigent circumstances surrounding the submittal of the 2015 audit to the DCED, hereby appoints Lori Griner, certified public accountant, as independent auditor to examine the 2015 financial records of the borough in place of the remaining elected auditor. Section 2, council has agreed to pay Ms. Griner a fee of $3,000 to audit said 2015 financial records of the borough. Section 3, the Board of Auditors shall not audit, settle, or adjust the accounts audited by the appointee, but shall perform the other duties of the office. Section 4, this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption, this 4th day of April 2016. Motion to approve that.
Okay,
I make that motion.
motion by Barney Gossett, seconded by Paul, to go ahead and adopt this resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously. The committee, the next thing is community room rental agreement. we have two types of agreements. One was prepared by our solicitor, which is about 10 pages long, and it's more for a commercial venue. It's just a little bit way above our heads. And I have an agreement here, a rental agreement that is used at the West Catania Fire Hall, which can be adopted to this facility. There's a few words that we have to change, like we don't have a kitchen, we don't have a bar. The time limit has to be changed, and who is all held responsible if anything's broke. But personally, I've been with the fire hall over 20 years, and we've used this agreement. It has been very binding. You can ask Mickey Langham. She's the one who does our booking down there, and we've never had any real repercussions from anybody. But we do have two parties who are interested in renting this for two functions, and they are borough residents, and I think we ought to act on this as soon as possible. Because we have one party who wants it in 2 months, and I think we should, like I
Well,
said,
they need to get prepared and ready.
I can go ahead and get this changed, but I'd like, you want to read part of this? I mean, it's a general consensus of using this room.
Mr. President, I will make that motion with one condition that is added, that no alcohol at all be provided in this building. At all,
Yes.
any time, not brought in by anybody, you can't bring it.
Not inside, outside, none on this premises at all.
Okay,
I agree with
I
you.
will make that motion to adopt that.
I'll second.
Do we have no smoking signs?
No, they will be gotten.
Okay.
Motion by Bernie Bowser, seconded by Eddie Morse to go ahead and agree on this hall rental, which will be typed up and ready in hands for next meeting. But we have to work on it.
Who will be typing it up? You have somebody to do that?
I can go and get this typed up.
I think, and I agree with everything that's said, I think, go ahead and make sure, regardless of what we have written,
Yeah,
that if we have these two people interested,
yes.
give them enough head. We can't tell them that, wait for the next meeting.
No, and what we're gonna do is set up a contact person that they'll be able to call in and say, we wanna rent this building.
I would keep the calendar for the borough building.
All right, you're in charge of me.
Okay?
I was gonna give it to
Take
Megan.
that responsibility.
You can work, ask Mickey how she does hers. But we will put a calendar in the room, so if one of the council people happen to come in, they'll know it's gonna be a function here.
Okay.
Well, maybe have two, because she might need one.
Oh, yeah, I
Well,
will.
she'll have one, but there'll be a
And I'll keep
standing
this one
calendar
updated.
here,
Yeah.
like we have down at the fire hall. Mickey has a calendar, the fire hall has a calendar.
Right,
We use her as a basis of
right.
setting this up and go from there. So we do have a contact person. We have a motion to go ahead and accept a revised contract, and I will have it all ready. And I want to be able to contact these people and say they can have it.
You can give them my cell phone.
Okay, we're going to have to go ahead and figure out a rental fee. What, $50, $100?
I think, is there a committee that's on that we can,
No, there is no committee.
no, I mean, the building committee or something like that?
Wonders on the building parade, let's put something together.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can talk about it, me and you.
No, we'll talk about it and put a fee.
I'm not on the building, they can talk.
Yeah, Bernie's on the building committee.
Bernie, Bob, and Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do something.
Motion by Bernie, second by Eddie. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously approved. New business. Oh,
We're gonna do business, unfinished business.
okay.
I called two crew see, get a quote about a camera. I called him, hadn't heard from him. Well, 2 weeks ago I talked to him, said he was gonna come in and look at it. I called him today, because I hadn't received anything. He said that he emailed it to the borough email, and Carly didn't get anything, so I'm gonna have to
Although
call
my
him.
email's been down for,
Okay, so she may have it, may not, but I'll call him again tomorrow and just tell him to email it directly to me. I don't know if they have our email address.
on the website.
Some
Oh, so
He also has used my personal email.
I'll call him tomorrow.
All right, you have anything else? All right, new business, we've been made mention that Michelle Caldwell would like to hand over the website to the borough. And she had stated a cost to go ahead and take that over. And I don't know what the cost would be. Somebody had talked to her?
Well,
Bob?
from the last meeting, it came up that, and I believe Mr. Kunstman brought it up, that the minutes weren't up to date and something else, so I said I would talk to her, I did. She did update everything. Actually said she was only 1 month behind on the minutes. But more than that, she talked to me about the board taking over that website. She gave me the reasons why she felt we best that we had the website and not her. She would still update it, but she believes the website should be in our name. Now, again, she called me this evening, and I talked to the president of council about her conversation, and it was suggested that maybe we put a website committee together to learn more about why we should have this, why it should be ours, who should be doing the updating. I know she's done 3 iterations since she's had it, to update it, to get it up where it should be. It can go through another iteration to include smartphones. I'm not too sure we need that 4th iteration to do smartphones, but obviously it makes no difference to me, so we don't include it. But anyways, yeah, I like the suggestion, and wouldn't mind having that web committee since it's come up as an issue a couple times.
All right, I'll talk to I'll talk to all 3 people involved in setting up the website committee. The website committee would consist of Bobby Bauer, Paula Henry, and Bernie Bowser.
Thank you.
Great idea.
Who's gonna be the chair of that committee?
Paul Bauer.
No.
Paula Henry.
Obviously, a guy with a flip phone shouldn't be in head of that committee.
The one with the biggest phone.
No comment.
Not like me.
How about the one with the biggest phone?
Okay. Our secretary has had a problem with her laptop.
Yeah, it died.
It died. How old
Like
is it?
Thursday. Well, it was what new when I started in February 2011. And one day last week I went to get on it and it just wouldn't start up at all. I almost cried. But my brother is an IT technician, so I trust him to look at it. So he checked it out and it's like dead. He was able to remove the hard drive and get all of my information off of there. But I had also backed up the QuickBooks and stuff on an external hard drive. So I have all the information, but as far as he's concerned, the laptop's like, it's 5+ years old.
Yeah.
I'd like a motion,
So,
somebody to purchase a new laptop for our secretary.
Do you have, like, are you familiar with Apple?
I've never used a
Okay,
MacBook.
so, okay. Just a question.
But what I had was a Dell Latitude. I liked it a lot. They don't make this same series anymore, of course, but they have a similar one at Staples, a Dell. It's $1,193.99. There was an HP Elite book that was comparable at Best Buy, it was $1154.99. We do have an account with Staples right now.
Did you get a price from them? Is that from Staples?
Yeah,
Dell is
Staples,
Staples.
Dell was Staples, yeah.
Well, if that's what your
I-
computer and all your hardware is already compatible with, to put it back on, it probably would be the best to go with the Dell. If everything's on your
Yeah.
external hard drive, putting it on a different computer, you might have problems
Yeah,
where
it's
it
the
might
same.
not open.
It's the same like series, just not the same exact model, but yeah.
So that's compatible, ways you get now, you'll be able to go ahead and, what are you
Yeah.
comfortable do with
I
this
like,
one?
I like the Dell. Like the one
I'll make a
I
motion
had.
for the Dell.
Motion by Bobby Meyer, seconded by Eddie Morse, to purchase a laptop, Dell, from Staples, at a cost of $1,193.99.
As long as I get one too. As long as I
You
get
don't
one.
even use them yet?
I make a motion, you get her old.
All in favor?
I got one like that, I got one like that, Bobby.
Aye.
All right. I'm sorry, Ken, I put you off so far.
Thanks, guys.
At this time, I'd like to present Ken
Howard.
Bankston Engineering. He has a presentation with what he's been up there and looked at.
Okay, great, thank you. I'm Ken Howard with Bankston Engineers, and we had met a few weeks ago and taken a look at some of the storm sewer system that the borough has. And our firm has been working in West Kittanning Borough for over 40 years with the water system, and we're quite familiar with the municipality. And what we resolved from our visit a couple of weeks ago, looking at the different storm sewer areas that are giving the borough some problems, was that maybe the best thing to do first would be to locate and perform a survey and prepare a GIS base map that would show where your storm sewers are and the different inlets and different sizes of storm pipes, and then identify those priority areas that we could try to then go out to seek funding to replace and to make some improvements to your stormwater system. So we tried to prepare a cost estimate for mapping, locating and mapping and preparing this base map for some of your storm sewer system. So I have a handout tonight. This is a cost estimate. This is what we projected it may cost if we were to come in and survey and locate storm drains and inlets and pipes. This is an estimate, basically that, just an estimate that if we were to bring our survey crew in to locate the storm inlets and determine the top elevations and invert elevations and locations of the inlets and pipes, and then determine the size and the material of the different storm pipes, because you have many different kinds of pipes underground from what we saw in our field view. And then what we would do is be located every storm drain that we could find in your municipality. And then we would take that information and prepare a GIS base map where we would show those storm drains on a map that would be an ArcGIS type base map that would show the streets and the buildings, and then you have a layer that would show the storm systems. What we're estimating is if we were to do this field work, we thought that it may take approximately a week or 40 hours of a survey crew, and probably 120 hours or 3 weeks of time to prepare those maps with our technician that does the mapping. The cost for those type of efforts, if we were to do this, would be around $5,400 for the survey time in the field locating things, and approximately $9,600 if it was 120 hours, or a budget of around maybe $15,000 to do the locations and mapping. That may sound like a lot of money, but the base map and everything that we could start with would be a great asset for the municipality. And basically, like I said, this is an estimate. We would just charge for the time it took. If it only took us 2 days to locate things and a week or two to do the mapping, the cost would be less than this. So what we tried to come up with was a range of what we thought it would realistically take, though. We did see some very serious problems on some of your storm drains, and took full that we can get some grant money to help you get some of those drains fixed. I know we talked with Bob about the liquid fuels grant application. Were you able to get that one in?
It's submitted.
Okay, that's a $15,000 grant that hopefully you'll get that. If you get that little chunk, it could maybe be the first project out, and you can do some improvements with that. There are different avenues to seek funding for stormwater projects. If the project isn't large scale enough, you can go to Penvest, which is the way we funded the water tower up on top of the hill. It's a Penvest loan of a 20 years loan at 1%, so it's a pretty good deal. But the project needs to be of a large enough scale if you're going to pursue a Penvest project. They do fund stormwater projects, but other ways to fund these are through the liquid fuels avenue and different things like that. So certainly if you have any questions, we try to answer them. If this is more than the borough could put towards their storm sewer project at that time, we could start out and get as much as we could and work to a certain limit or a dollar amount, if that would be a direction you'd like to go. But we try to help you any way we can.
The borough is not unique in its different elevations. Knowing that we have water that flows downhill two different directions. One this direction, one this direction. And down the southern end, another direction. If we could divide that into thirds or quarters and take it by a third or a quarter, or would we have to do the whole board at the same time?
You don't have to do the whole municipality at one time. We could do different sections and get a start.
When I
identify
first
certain areas.
came on board, I was given a sheet with probably 9 or 10 different areas of concern. I just received one, storm drains that need replaced and looked at. And looking at them, it seems to be on the east downside of the borough, where we could go maybe and do the east side before taking on the complete borough.
Sure.
And I think that's something we can discuss.
That would perfectly be fine. We will do whatever we can to help you. I know the budget restraints are a big issue with every municipality, but not a problem to do. We can do the east side first and get that on the map, and then we can go from there and see if we get any funding. One thing that may help us is that we will be surveying the water line that we got funding for on North Crescent over to Cleveland. While we're doing that survey work on the water project in this summer's time frame, we'll make sure we locate the storm sewer in that section and get the elevations and pipe sizes so that that data could also be implemented into your map for storm sewers. We'll have our survey crew here doing the water survey. So that'll be an added benefit to your system
You
as
could,
well.
go into the vault, an A, B, and C areas. If we'd sit down and take a topographical map and draw A's over here, can you give us an estimate on that, and then on B, and then on C?
It would probably be about thirds of this.
Take a
Well, yeah, he
Yeah, it's
has
gonna be
it
about
quoted
thirds.
40 hours and
Yeah.
35 hours, we can pretty
But,
much.
Yeah, if you wanted us to spend 1 or 2 days and get as much as we could, we can even do it that way.
Yeah,
And we can attempt to do it and get as much as we could if we spent 1 or 2 days in the field and maybe 40 hours in the office to get to the best map we could for that amount of effort. We could certainly work that way too.
and because when you're gonna be, say, down at the lower end, we'll call it the C end, you said you're gonna go ahead and map the sewer lines and catch basins while you're there. So that would probably eliminate some of the cost that will be incurred into our survey.
That would be a savings to the borough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we'll have to discuss it and see once it, we may have to go A, B, and C, and
That would be
from there.
fine. Great.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, I need a motion to pay the bills. Motion by Paul Henry. Seconded by, Nancy. That's why I kept my mouth shut. Okay, motion been made, and all in favor?
Aye.
And then approved. Any letters from, what do you need? We had resignation from 3 parties. Pardon? I got it here.
Oh,
And we have 2 letters from the auditors of resignation due to conflicts of their work and so forth. And we also have a letter of resignation from a borough employee notifying that the quit work on March 26th. That was Denny Meckling.
March 16th or the 26th?
March 26th.
Basically, he just retired, basically.
He retired, we put on here, he just resigned. And the borough worker, we're going to go ahead and advertise for a part-time employee on that, which has been discussed. And the auditor position is going by the resolution that was passed, and it'll be filled. I have no other letters from the public. Motion to adjourn.
So made.
Motion by-
take care of the advertising.
Motion by Bob, second by somebody over here. Okay, all in favor?
yeah. Yeah.